Hi, I'm Mark, and I only have one light up and running working, so you're gonna have to deal with me shifting around and having some darkness on my face. But basically, I'm a massive fan of Dying Light. I loved the first game, played the second one but couldn't get into it at the end of the game. I just thought it was a bit not for me. But the DLC looked amazing. I just couldn't get through the main game and thought, well, I want to get through the main game before playing the DLC, so it was kind of a bit of a bad loop for me. But then the beast absolutely clawed me back like a volatile, dragging me into a cave. My goodness, it was brilliant. Everything from the voice acting by Roger Craig Smith to, I believe his name is Olivier de Riviere's soundtrack, which possibly one of the best gaming soundtracks of the year, if not for the last few years. I absolutely love the soundtrack to the point where because I got the Ultimate Edition, I downloaded the MP3 files onto my phone and I've been putting them on my Spotify local files so I can mix them in with the Doom soundtrack from the 2016 game, not the later ones. Actually, a couple from the later ones. Anyway, and the Matt Reeves Batman soundtrack, and you mix songs like Angry Man mixed with Highway to the Anger Zone from the Batman film, and then literally At Doom's Gate or anything from the Doom games, and there's just some sort of like stringy metal, angry kind of scary, powerful vibes, and I love it. And it's just, for me, it's my current like ultimate gym playlist when I'm not listening to like I'm a Barbie Girl or what's that Korean one, Cupid is so dumb or something like that. But yeah, I've often called Dying Light the Twilight of video games, the Twying Light, if you will. Because it's a game where the story isn't the best, kind of like Twilight, but it's a guilty pleasure and I constantly go back to it, which I definitely don't do with Twilight. Let me know if you want me to make a Twilight video breaking down what I think about it. I may or may not have also read the gender swap version called Life and Death. I digress. I keep coming back to it. I played the first one, I played the main story of the first one and the DLC over and over and over again, because anytime I could convince a new friend to get the game, I would just play with them on my same Kyle, who gets more powerful every time. And max legend level on the first game is how much I've played it, and I've even just like replayed it in nightmare mode by myself multiple times now, because I just want to keep playing it. Like, yeah, I'm way overpowered, but it's just cool and fun, and I like having stuff to do in the game because I find the gameplay so fun I can just ignore the story. It's not that I think the story's the best thing ever, but you know, it's just something to do. And listening to all the voice acting both in Dying Light 1 and yeah, just been running around in Dying Light the Beast since completing the story. I don't want to start a new game until I can do New Game Plus because I prefer it that way. I'm not going to say there's loads to do, but for someone who's like a super like Dying Light fan like I am, it is just a fun game to get into. Like, all I've been doing recently, even though I've not 100%ed it yet, I'm trying to 100% it by running around the map and just finding stuff. And I accidentally found the XP Caliber 2 thing. I will admit, I did see a guide after finding I think I found 6 of the stones, and I was like, well, what are these? And then it immediately came up with XP Caliber 2, and I was like, right, okay, so I know I need to get XP Caliber 2 and I'll just find these stones, but I won't look at the site for where XP Caliber 2 is. And then I just happened to climb a giant rock and it was up there, and it was really cool, and I really just had fun with it. And I sent it literally on Snapchat, I just recorded it and sent it to my boys because they played the Dying Light games with me, and it was just like a big flashback for me, so I just loved it. One thing I'm excited about is for the next Dying Light game, which we'll call Dying Light 3 for now, I guess. My ideal Dying Light 3, you're playing as Kyle Crane. But I had this thought when I tried recording this video earlier, and my lighting was even worse than it is now. I thought it'd be really cool if it's set up similar to a co-op game, like it's a single player game, but it has co-op in mind. And when it comes to the story stuff, you just see Kyle's perspective. But you complete the game and it's New Game Plus, and you see Aiden's perspective, and you play it as Aiden instead. And obviously if you're in like co-op mode, either have a co-op story that's separate from the main story, which you could do, or you could play as Kyle and Aiden, you know, together at the same time, and one player could see one gameplay and the other one could see the other as you're going through it, and that could be a really fun way to play. And then if you wanted like a bonus level sort of thing, like the Hell Raid level, having, is it Lydia, the psychic lady, having her take over different zombies and stuff and being able to like POV play as them, and then even like have like an RTS style horde that you could control as well, could be fun. For like a small thing. I wouldn't want it to be like the Mary Jane missions in Spider-Man where you just do like boring levels over and over again just because you have to. It would just be a fun side mission. That would be a cool way to play it, but I already know what my dream story is, and I don't think they'll have it because I think they're probably smarter than me and will have a better idea. But at the end, spoilers alert, Aiden, Lydia and Kyle are stood on the cliff after defeating the Baron, and the GRE helicopter flies in, and then the soundtrack, I believe it's called A Changed Man, or Changed Man, hits so hard. Like if you just listen to that song by itself, regardless of the cinematic, it's so good. But then the cinematic just makes it 10 times better.
Leave the past where it belongs, Kyle. Focus instead on the good we can do together.
Yeah. I will focus on you.
And the GRE helicopter's there, the same woman from the first game's there. It makes me want to see the next game take place hunting down the GRE. And there's two places where I think would go really well. One would be the Dying Light equivalent of New York City, because it is a slightly different world, and it would be okay if they had like their kind of Gotham City, which definitely isn't, you know, whatever. And also because we know that Villador is the last surviving actual city with people in it in the world, or so we're told. It'd be cool to see like this abandoned New York City that's slowly gaining people back to it. That would be really interesting. You could have different zones like the islands and the parks and like the woodlands and stuff, and the outskirts. Like if you had a big enough map, you could do all sorts. Or even if you just, you know, fast traveling between places, that would be really cool too. It's Future Mark. So the end of the video got cut off because I pressed pause video, but then there was no option to play video, so I thought, oh, maybe I didn't press pause video, so then I just recorded the end of it. Also, I thought it never saved any of the rest of it, so I thought I'd just catch up with the end of it. So I was just talking about, for Dying Light 3, we'll call it, going to either the fictional version of New York City in Dying Light, which would be really cool. So obviously Dying Light has its own version of Earth and the real world. So Dying Light's version of New York City could be pretty interesting, because in real life I believe the UN is hosted there. So having like the GRE instead of the UN, that would be pretty cool. And being able to hunt them down and go after your true enemies, the GRE. And they could be doing anything from experimenting on the zombies to actually trying to find a cure, and maybe even weaponizing that cure against Kyle and Aiden. It could be quite interesting. But then the other option for what I was thinking could be to go back to Haran and go to where it all started, really. Maybe even discovering the origin of the virus could be interesting, because it seems to have started in Haran. And obviously Dying Light 1, it would be really cool to go back to the tower and see these places that are probably destroyed by now. I know Dying Light Bad Blood kind of covered some in between 1 and 2 story stuff, but I don't consider that to be canon, especially because nobody played it. But seeing what happens to Brecken and all the characters whose names I'm forgetting because it's quite late now, after Dying Light 1 and the following, would be really, really interesting. And finding out where everyone went would kind of answer a lot of questions, seeing if there's anyone left over. Is the Doctor still alive? Is Brecken still alive? Is he like a super volatile or something now, like everybody seems to be? Or maybe he's going to be Kyle's enemy because he kind of left on a bad note. Stuff like that would be really cool. So just let me know what you'd like to see in Dying Light 3 or whatever they're going to call it, because Techland really just hit the nail on the head with Dying Light the Beast. Personally, I'd actually quite like to see some DLC for the Beast too, like maybe Tolga and Fatim could have a full DLC just to themselves. That could be pretty cool. Although it could be a bit weird with the pacing and stuff. They did go more fantasy though in the Beast, so I guess we'll find out. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Please look after yourself, and good night, good luck.